Welcome back to another video on Sports Reels, and I'm joined with Monster Sports 11.
Hola.
And today we'll be predicting the Euro 2020, even though it's in 2021, tournament. The tournament starts June 11th for Americans, I believe, and we live in the United States, so we're going to probably say soccer instead of football. So first we're going to do the group stages, and then after both of us do the group stages, we'll do that knockout round. Alright, going into Group A, it's Switzerland, Turkey, Wales, and Italy. I'm gonna put Italy at the top of Group A. Yeah, Italy number 1. Then for number 2, I'm gonna put Switzerland. 3, I'm gonna put Wales, and 4, Turkey. I think between Italy's gonna be the big group winner out of this. They're gonna come in first, like easily. But between 2 and 3, Switzerland and Wales, I think it'll come down to probably goal differential, or it'll be decided by 1 point. I think they'll tie their match against each other, and it'll be pretty close.
Yeah.
For Group...
Should I go for Group A?
Oh yeah, go for Group A.
Alright, for Group A, I know it's a surpriser. I think Wales will somehow take one. It'll be close between them and Italy, but I have them going 1. Then I have 2 obvious Italy. I know Italy's moving on for sure. Then 3, I think the top 3 will be Switzerland. I think Wales, Italy, and Switzerland will be separated between not that much points. And 4, I think Turkey's going to finish last by a lot.
Alright, and also there's a thunderstorm going on in the background, so you might hear some thunder.
Yeah.
So Group B is just Russia, Belgium, Denmark, and Finland. Here I have Belgium coming first. They're just the better team. They have good, pretty solid offense. The performance at the last World Cup was pretty great. They made the semifinals and only lost by 1 goal. And that goal probably could have been easily avoided. And then for the second place, I'm going to put Russia, actually, just because also their performance at the World Cup. I know they had a pretty easy group, but they also did beat Spain, which is nothing to be nothing to not look at, because Spain is one of the best teams in the world, and they won a World Cup a couple years before that. Then third place, I have Denmark. I think it's going to become close between Russia and Denmark, but they're going to have 1 or 2 points more than them. And last place, confidently, I put Finland. They might have 1 draw, but I don't see them winning a game.
Yeah. This year, I know I really want to put Belgium at 1, but something like inside of me wants to put Russia at 1. They're close. They are really close. I know Russia doesn't have that many big name players, but I think they're just gonna have a very good team chemistry and take number 1. Then 2, I'm gonna put Belgium. That's pretty obvious. 3, barely, I'm gonna put Denmark. And I think the top 3 once again could be interchangeable, except Belgium. I think they're gonna be in the top 2. And I can confidently put Finland at 4, just like you.
Alright, for Group C, I have the Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, and North Macedonia. I put Netherlands number 1, because you can see most of these groups, there's one good team that stands out, and Netherlands is that team. And I don't know if Virgil van Dijk is playing, but if he plays, that'll be very helpful for their team, and that could further cement their first place. Second, I have Austria, mainly because I just don't really know much about these teams, because most of them are pretty small, but I just feel like Austria is the biggest and better one out of these. Then Ukraine and North Macedonia. Those are probably interchangeable, but I just put North Macedonia as number 4.
Okay. For number 1, no shocker, Netherlands. Number 2, I'm gonna go. I don't know any of these 3 countries, so I'm gonna go by which country I know better in order. So I'm gonna go Austria, then Ukraine, then what's this country?
North Macedonia.
Yeah, North Macedonia. I'm gonna put them at 4.
Alright, going on to Group D. This is a pretty interesting group. You have Scotland and England, then Croatia, then the Czech Republic, or Czechia. Then I'm going to put England as number 1. I think it's going to be a big game between England and Scotland. It's going to be a pretty big rivalry, and it's going to get a bunch of viewers and stuff. But I'm going to think England's going to win that game also. I have England number 1. Then as number 2, I'm going to put Croatia. I know Croatia, they beat England in last year's World Cup semifinal, but I feel like England is still the better team overall, and they're going to be better than them, but it's going to be very close. And in the end, I think, but England will be on top though. Number 3, I have Scotland. I know Scotland's not as great as England, or maybe not even as great as Wales, but still, I think being in the United Kingdom, they have very talented players, especially since football is very popular around there. It's gonna get a bunch of players there, and I don't know much about their team, but I know they must have good players there. And then last place, I have the Czech Republic. I'm just putting them in last because I don't know much about them. I just feel like even if they were good, the other three teams would be better.
Oh yeah, I have a question. So
Yeah,
you know that guy that's like 17 or something that's like really good? What's his name?
I don't know.
He's like he like scored like a ton of goals in like a game or something
I have no idea.
this year. He's like I don't know. He's like I know he plays for like a Euro team. He's white. He has dark. He's like very blonde hair.
Oh, Holland.
Yeah, him. Wait, what team's he on?
Let me see. Erling Holland.
I think he's on Sweden, but I'm not sure.
He's I think he's on Norway.
Let me
Yeah,
check.
he's on Norway.
Oh, okay.
They didn't
Okay.
qualify, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, Group D, I have first England, second Croatia. Those two are interchangeable. They're both very good teams. I just think England's one of the most scary teams out of all these teams in the whole like Euro thing. And I'm gonna go England first, Croatia second, Scotland third, and Czech Republic fourth.
Alright, going into Group E, we have Poland, Spain, Sweden, and Slovakia. I'm gonna put Spain number one. Mainly because they're, like I said, they're the team that stands out. They have a pretty solid offensive attack. Their defense, it's Sergio Ramos, is pretty good. And David De Gea is always playing pretty good. Number two, I'm gonna put Sweden. Actually, they had a pretty good performance at the World Cup. They made it around to 16. They almost beat Germany and they beat Mexico, which was very strong also. But number three, I'm gonna put Poland. Like I'm gonna say these two, this could go either way. This is gonna be on goal differential. I think they're gonna draw their game, and I think the winner will be Sweden on goal differential. Number four, I have Slovakia, mainly because I don't really know them, and even if they were like okay, these three teams are pretty strong teams.
Yeah. Mine's actually the same exact order: Spain, Sweden, Poland, and Slovakia. I I think Poland's the better team overall, but I think Sweden's just gonna get lucky or something and like win off point differential, as you say. I feel like Poland's gonna like have like one very bad game, which will put them behind Sweden.
All right. So next is a group of death. There's Portugal, France, Germany, and Hungary. In the last Euro tournament, it was Portugal and Portugal actually beat France. That's gonna be a pretty big revenge game for France. And this, I don't really know. The group could go either way except Hungary. I'm gonna put them in fourth place to start because yeah, they're not gonna compete with these three nations. This group could be very competitive, and I'm actually gonna put France at number one, mainly because coming off their World Cup win, and they're gonna be hungry for revenge against Portugal. But mainly that World Cup win really cemented them. They had such a strong team that year. They're good all together, and I think that's gonna get in first place. Second place, I'm gonna put Germany, because Germany also they actually didn't qualify for the round of 16 last year in the World Cup, but I just feel like that's just a champion's curse. That's just one bad tournament. They're gonna rebound from that. They're gonna become dominant again. Number three, I'm gonna put Portugal. I just feel like out of like these three like big strong nations, Portugal is the worst out of them. And yeah, so for number one France, number two Germany, number three Portugal, number four Hungary.
As you said, first off, putting Hungary at fourth, and just between these three nations, France with Mbappe, Conte, and other people, Germany with Ruiz and like a bunch of Bundesliga players, and Portugal with Pepe, which is very noble, and Ronaldo. Um, so first place, I'm gonna go France. They're just like England. They're a team to watch. I think they're probably top 3 or 5 team in this tournament-ish thing. So I'm gonna go 1 France, 2 Germany. I think Germany's a little stronger than Portugal. But I'm not gonna lie, Portugal, Germany, and France, they could all be interchangeable.
Alright, so you had the same group as me.
Yeah.
Now for the 4 best third place teams. So you think about this though, it could be, let's say, like between France, Germany, and Portugal. They're such a strong group, so let's say Portugal could only get a tie and a win and they have 4 points, but another team who came third place with a weak group could have had like 5 points, even though they're a worse team. So you had to factor that in.
Yeah. Can I go first on this one?
Sure. You can go first.
All right, for the best third place team, I'm gonna go Portugal. Even though they're like an insane thing, I think they'll still do very well. Second best place team, I'm gonna go Switzerland. Third place team, I'm gonna go Denmark. And fourth between Scotland and Poland, I don't think Ukraine. I'm gonna go Poland to move on.
All right, my first top 4 teams. I have Portugal, I have Wales, I have Poland, and Denmark. These 4, I think will be close, but I just feel like these 4 will have the advantage. All right, on to the knockout round. So I'm gonna do my whole knockout stage prediction first, and then Monster Sports Line will do his.
I'll go.
All right. So first in the knockout stage is Belgium versus Poland. And I'm going to take Belgium in this game. I think it's going to be like a 2-0, 2-1 game. It's going to be close. Both teams are pretty good, but I feel like Poland relying too much on Lewandowski. If they stop him, I feel like that should be the game for Belgium. Next, I have Italy versus Austria. I'm going to take Italy in this game. I think Italy just outclasses Austria in almost all categories. And Italy being one of the big powerhouses are going to win this game. All right, next I have France versus Wales. I think Wales is going to come close, actually. It's going to be a really close game, but at the end, France is going to win. I think France is almost going to lose this game, but towards the end of the game, they'll get like a last-second goal and win the game. All right, next I have Croatia versus Sweden. I'm going to take Croatia coming off the World Cup finalist, which is pretty big for a team since they weren't much known at the time. But I think it's going to be pretty big for them. It's going to help them boost their confidence, and this will get them to win over Sweden. All right, next would be Spain versus Denmark. I don't know who to choose here. I'm actually going to take Denmark with the upset. I know Spain is the better team, and they're probably going to win this one, but I just feel like there's going to be like an upset in this. One of the teams are going to win. One of the big powerhouses are going to fall in the round of 16. I feel like Denmark's the one to do that. All right, next is England versus Germany. And this is where England falls again. Every year they say they're going to win the league, win the cup, but every year they fail. They haven't won a major European or like international tournament in a while, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, next is Netherlands versus Portugal. And I'm going to actually choose the Netherlands here. Ronaldo is going to be out. I just don't feel like Portugal is going to play well this game. And most tournaments, Portugal hasn't played that well recently, except in Euro 2016. Of course, they won that year. Other than that, most tournaments, they haven't done too well. So I'm going to put Netherlands over them. And Switzerland versus Russia. I'm going to put Switzerland. They're the better team overall. I feel like Russia's, like I said before, performance in the World Cup relied on them having a really terrible group. But even then, Russia is still a pretty solid team to compare against Switzerland. But Switzerland, I think they're the better team overall. All right, moving on to the quarterfinals. I have Belgium versus Italy. I'm going to take Belgium in this game. And I just feel, I'm going to take Italy, actually. I know, like, Belgium's a pretty solid team. They actually made it to the semifinals last year. But I feel like Italy being back in the mix, coming back to the big tournaments, they're one of the powerhouses, and they're going to get the victory. Then I have France versus Croatia. I'm going to take France. It's going to be a World Cup final rematch, and I think it's going to be a similar result. The game's still going to be intense, but I think France will win by 1 or 2 goals. Or maybe even 3 goals if they perform even better. And then I have Denmark versus Germany. I'm going to take Germany in this game. Germany just outclasses Denmark in every category. And I feel like Denmark's upset is going to only be against Spain, and they're not going to get a second upset against Germany. And then the last quarterfinal matchup, Netherlands versus Switzerland. I'm going to take the Dutch in this game. I just feel like this game might go down in penalty shootouts. These teams are pretty close in skill. I just feel like this game is going to be one of the best in the tournament. All right, into the semifinals, I have Italy versus France and Germany versus Netherlands. I'm going to take France to make it to the Euro finals. I just think they're a better team. Their performance from the last World Cup, they have really good attackers. I don't know if Griezmann will be as good since his performance as Barcelona has been lackluster, but Mbappe will take that spot. Griezmann doesn't play so well as their main forward. But still, either way, I think France will get this victory and head to the finals. And then next I have Germany versus Netherlands. And this matchup will be very good in my opinion. I know Germany's still the better team, but in the semifinals, both teams are going to try their hardest. Netherlands has a pretty solid squad. They've done pretty good in national tournaments. They didn't make the World Cup last year, but many other good teams didn't make it, like Italy. So even with that, I still think Germany's going to win it. Just both teams are very good and very powerful. And in the final, it'll be France versus Germany. These teams are going to be like they're in the same group, right? They're in the group of death, Group F, I believe. It's going to be a group rematch. I think in the group match game, I think I'll choose France. And I think I'm going to choose Germany, though, in the finals. I have Germany winning the finals. I feel like this is going to be a very close game. Could go to extra time, could go to penalties. And either way, this game could go either way. I don't really see a bold prediction winning this one, but I'm going to go Germany over France. So this is my tournament bracket right here.
Okay, so you have Germany winning it all.
Yep. Now on to you, Monster Sports 11.
Alright, don't get mad at me because I don't know much about soccer once again. Oh yeah, football. Alright, round of 16, we have Russia taking on Poland. I'm going to go with Russia. I think it's going to be close, but I think Russia is just overall the better team. I think Lewandowski will score 2 goals, come close to a hat trick. But maybe PK shootouts, but I think Russia will win this. Next, we have Wales versus Austria. I think this will be a lackluster game. I think it'll go 0-0 going into PKs, and I think Wales will win like 5-4 in the PK. So yeah, Wales takes down Austria. France versus Switzerland. I'm going to go with France. France is a powerhouse team, and I don't know if Switzerland can take them down or even compete with them. I'm looking at like a 4-1 win for France. I think it's going to be a blowout for France. Next, we have Croatia versus Sweden. I think it's weirdly going to be close, and I think Sweden could pull off the upset against Croatia. Croatia, a very good team. Have Modric, who is a very good player. He plays for like Real Madrid, I believe. But I think Sweden can get it done and upset Croatia, one of the big dogs. Next, we have Spain taking on Denmark. I think Spain will win this. Spain's a pretty good soccer place, and Denmark is but I'm going to go with Spain because Spain is a powerhouse, like Pat Rule said. Next, we have England versus Germany. This is going to be a very, very good matchup. Germany versus England. 2 powerhouses taking on each other in the round of 16. But I'm going to go with Germany. Actually, no. I'm going to go with England on this one.
Oh, I had the same game, but I meant with Germany.
Yeah. I think it's going to be close, but I think England's going to win like 3-2. Harry Kane's going to pop off in this game. Next up, we have the Dutch Netherlands taking on Cristiano Ronaldo, Pepe, and Portugal. I think the Dutch are going to get it done. Take down Cristiano Ronaldo. And, yeah, win the round of 16 game. And another insane round of 16 matchup. We have Italy, a powerhouse, taking on Belgium, another powerhouse. I think it's going to be close, 4-3 Belgium. It'll be very close, in my opinion. Okay, on to the quarterfinals. We have another lackluster game with Russia taking on Wales. I think it's going to be like 4-0 Russia. And Russia's going to move on, destroying and obliterating Wales. Next, we have France versus Sweden. And I'm going to keep the Cinderella run going. I'm going to have Sweden taking down another top dog. Sweden taking down France. I think Mbappe and like the whole France team are going to go down 2-0 at the end of the first half. They're going to get frustrated, and they're going to just play horrible for the rest of the game and blow their chance of winning the Euro 2020 Cup. So Sweden keeping their Cinderella tournament alive, moving on to the semifinals. Next in the quarterfinals, we have Spain taking on England. Another big matchup. I'm going to go England on this one. I think England can keep it going and take down Spain. I think England has more power when it comes to the offense and like striking. And I'm going to go with England on this one. They're just too good. Next, we have Netherlands versus Belgium. Another decent game. It's pretty clear that Belgium is the better team. But I think the Netherlands can get it done and take down the top dog Belgium. So the semifinal games are at the top. This is a very weird game because no one probably sees this happening. Russia taking on Sweden. And then on the other side, we have the last top dog standing, England taking on Netherlands. Alright, so for the semifinals, I'm going to go with Russia. They're going to finally end Sweden's Cinderella story after Sweden took down Croatia and France. But Russia's going to move on to the championship. And in the semifinals, England versus Netherlands. As you said before, England's curse is going to continue. And Netherlands are going to just take down England and move on to the championship. And on to the championship, finals. And the England are the final top dog to go down. And it's on to the finals. Russia taking on Netherlands.
I don't think anyone could ever see that ever coming.
I know, but a lot of upsets in this. And I'm going to go Netherlands winning this one. Netherlands probably going to win like 4-3. The Dutch take home. Is this their first Euro 2020 thing?
I don't know.
No, I'm just going to say they're going to take home their first Euro 2020 Cup. And Netherlands will take down Russia. I mean, I guess you could say Russia with another Cinderella story too, because they made it all the way to the finals, even though they're like not the best. So yeah, I mean they did have an easy way. They did have an easy way to the finals.
This would be the Netherlands' second win. They won in 1988 once.
Okay, the first one of the new century.
Yep.
So like the upsets I have happening is So are you surprised about Sweden's Cinderella run?
I'm surprised that Russia made the final.
Yeah, I am too.
I could see Sweden like making a Cinderella run, but I couldn't see Russia or Sweden actually making the final.
Yeah, I know. So Netherlands take down Russia for my finals. How about you? Yeah, you have.
I have Germany taking down France.
Yeah. Those are our predictions for the Euro 2020 Cup. Yeah, if you guys want us to predict the knockout round when it happens, like the video and comment down below. And subscribe to both of us, and till next time, peace.
See ya.